Hey everyone, it's me again, Brittany, and I'm here today to do my most anticipated releases for 2020. I'm actually so excited about this video. This one really goes hand in hand with one of my goals, which is to kind of stay more in the know and stay more up to date with book releases and reading them on time. So part of that is obviously knowing when they're going to be coming out. So I do have 15 books that we're really gonna get into, and then I have like a few shout outs that either already came out because I am filming this in the end of January, or I just didn't want to talk about for one reason or another. That's just one. So before we dive into the books that I am most anticipating for this year, I do want to mention that this video is being sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare has been an amazing supporter of my channel, and I love working with this brand, especially because they mostly are here for you. I mean, for all of us, really. Skillshare is an awesome online learning community that really just helps you explore your own creativity and satisfy your curiosity with thousands of classes that cover anything from photography to videography to picking up a new skill or just expanding something you have already been working on. It's especially amazing for any of us that have a slightly busier schedule just because it is so flexible. You obviously can take the classes in your own time. Most of them are actually under an hour, and even then are split up into a ton of amazing topics that just can range from like 1 minute to 10 minutes and just fits anywhere in your life as long as you're willing to make the space to learn. Not only does it put you in contact with fellow creative people in like the discussion areas, but it also just gives you access to real professionals teaching real classes to advance your own interests. And it's actually incredibly affordable, especially when you compare it to other versions of online one-on-one style learning, because for an annual subscription it ends up being under $10 a month, which is just phenomenal. I really love the accessibility that Skillshare offers, and I specifically have been adoring their productivity classes. I really can't get enough of it. To be fair, it is like a new year, and I always get a little bit more motivated in the new year to better myself and better my habits, and productivity has always been a place that I slack, and I want to just do better at it. Last time that I talked about Skillshare, I was also mentioning a productivity class, and since then I have watched more. Specifically, I started a class called The Perfect 100-Day Project, Your Guide to Explosive Creative Growth, and this is actually being taught by Rich Armstrong, and he's really engaging right off the bat, but it mostly is kind of a guide to start your own 100-day project. And a 100-day project is when you pick up a habit, you choose a habit, and you do it for 100 days straight, and hopefully you either better in it or it helps you just grow creatively, specifically in this aspect. And I just really feel like it's a great fit for me. I have definitely felt the, what's the word? It's not slow down, but I do almost feel like the content that I've been making has stagnated. So I just kind of picked up a class to try and hopefully expand my creativity and grow a little bit and do better and create content that I'm even more excited about and more proud of. I've been really enjoying Skillshare overall. I always am checking out different classes, especially when it leans towards like drawing and picking up new skills, but the productivity ones are definitely the ones that benefit me the most in the end and that I think I have learned the most from. So yeah, definitely check it out. And to top it off, Skillshare has been kind enough to give me a link for you guys, and the first 500 people that click the link in my description bar will actually get 2 months for free at Skillshare. So definitely hop on it, try to be one of those first 500 because it is absolutely a phenomenal service and it's just such a good place to learn, and getting access to try it out for free for a couple of months is going to be absolutely beneficial to you guys. So go down below, click the link, hopefully you can get a couple of months for free, and let's dive into my top 15 books that I'm excited for 2020. So I am going to be doing this in actual date release order, so I'm starting with the books that are going to be releasing sooner and then ending with the ones released in December, obviously. The first two books that I'm going to talk about will both be released on February 4th, and the first is King of Crows by Libba Bray. This is the 4th book in the Diviners series, and it is the finale, which is so exciting. I've been keeping up with the Diviners for the past 3 years, reading them around Halloween time, so even though I'm probably gonna get this when it comes out, I'm not gonna read it until October comes around because it is just the perfect spooky setting of books. If you've heard me talk about the Diviners before, then you already know, but it actually takes place in the 1920s in New York. So we have all the fun, all the flappers, all of the amazing just scenery that Libba Bray has taken the time to write for us. And it also talks about some incredibly poignant issues of the time, but we follow diviners who all have these extra special abilities to themselves, and for one reason or another they are caught up in this whole whirlwind of activity because in the first book we have a serial killer that they are trying to find, and it just definitely takes a paranormal twist and it sets up the tone for the rest of the books. So I'm really excited to see what Libba Bray does with the finale of it. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. The other book is going to be All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. So this one I was kind of intrigued by. I don't know too much, but it starts with the premise that there is a kingdom where danger lurks beneath the sea, where mermaids are singing a song of vengeance, and that our main character has to discover how to master soul magic. Because in this realm, everyone can choose what kind of magic they want to perform, but the person that rules the kingdom, that will reign, has got to master soul magic. And that is what Amora has to set out to do. But when things go a little out of hand and she has to team up with a pirate, obviously things are going to escalate. So I'm really excited. Obviously, I really enjoy mermaid stories and I really like the idea of choosing your own magic, but let's be honest, the thing that I'm probably most excited about is the pirates, so I'm hoping that that is delivered well. The next book is gonna have to be Heartstopper Volume 3, which is gonna be released on February 6th, and it is by Alice Oseman. This is the third book, obviously, in the Heartstopper comics. Graphic novels, I'm really not sure where they fall in that kind of aspect, but I've only read the first one and I absolutely adored it. I don't know what's been holding me back from reading the second one. I know it's gonna be absolutely phenomenal because we just follow these two amazing boys and they're just so wholesome and so cute, and the story is just so heart-wrenchingly amazing. A lot of you guys actually always ask me what wholesome means, which I don't know, I thought that everyone knew what wholesome was, but if you ever really need like a feeling, like to understand the feeling of wholesome, read Heartstopper. Oh my gosh. So this next one I feel like is so obvious. There are like 3 books in this list that are just gonna be duh moments, but this one is gonna be Heart of Flames by Nikki Palpretto, and it's going to be released on February 11th. This is the sequel to Crown of Feathers, and I am just eagerly awaiting it. I absolutely adored Crown of Feathers when I read it last year, and I just can't wait to get the second book. I already pre-ordered the special edition that Owl Crate is going to be releasing for this one because I have the Owl Crate edition of the first book, and I just know they're gonna look so good next to each other, and I'm so excited. Crown of Feathers is dealing with the legend of the Phoenix, but in a very different way. We have Phoenix riders, but they were hunted down to near extinction because of other circumstances I won't really get into. A lot of it is kind of political based, but it is just such a mix, and there was such a huge plot twist at the end of Crown of Feathers because like I kind of saw it coming, but I really didn't when it happened, and I just cannot wait to see where Nikki Palpretto goes from there, and I am just so excited for this book to be released, and it's like gonna be out in less than 2 weeks. Or like in 2 weeks. So speaking of dumb moments, because I feel like this is the one book that everyone probably expects on this list, and if you didn't know about it, and you didn't know about my obsession with what I'm about to say, then welcome. This is my channel, and I stan Sarah J. Maas. So we're talking about House of Earth and Blood, which is going to be the first book in a new series that Sarah J. Maas is creating called Crescent City, and it's going to be released on March 3rd. I didn't know much about it. I originally thought that it was going to be dealing with a kind of different story than it actually is, but when I was looking at the summary, it seems that it's actually going to be about a girl whose friends were all killed on a night, and that a killer gets put away for it, but it isn't truly the killer that killed all of her friends, and when this killer strikes again, she has to team up with a boy who, or with a man, with a guy who has gotten on the Archangels, I want to say it's Archangels bad side. Yes, who got on the Archangel's bad side, and to get back on their good side, he has to team up with her and find the killer of her friends. So I thought it was gonna be different, but this sounds very Sarah J. Maas in my opinion, you know? I mean, not necessarily. It's almost like a kind of mix of a weird Shadowhunter situation with Sarah J. Maas, and I'm here for both of those things, so I'm excited to see how it turns out. I do do feel like it's going to be very new adult. I'm hoping, actually, just because it is supposed to be a new adult book. So, A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury, those are new adults. So I just can't wait to see what Sarah J Maas treats us with. You know, I didn't realize when I said originally that 3 of these books were going to be super obvious that they'd all be back to back to back, but the next book that we're going to be talking about is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, which is also going to be released on March 3rd. So no one talk to me on March 3rd because apparently I'm going to be reading 2 books at the same time because I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm gonna figure it out. Chain of Gold is going to be the newest book in Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunter world. I actually am not entirely sure who's being followed in it. I want to say that it's going to be the kids from the Dark Artifices series. I thought that it was supposed to be Ty and Kit, I want to say, but I'm not entirely sure anymore. So if you guys know, I mean, don't even tell me. I'm just gonna go in blind. I hope I love it. I think I will. The cover is absolutely stunning. Everyone's been getting arcs of this lately, and the need has risen because whenever I see people getting arcs of books, even if I wasn't incredibly fiending for one, once I see the arc, I'm like, wow, I wish I had an arc. But it's okay. I'm just gonna wait until March 3rd. We'll all read it together and have a good old Shadowhunter time because Cassandra Clare will never stop posting Shadowhunter books, I swear. So another book coming out on March 3rd is actually one that I don't think I've heard anyone talk about, but sounds absolutely up my alley at least, and that's gonna be Be Not Far From Me by Mindy McGinnis. I've really enjoyed Mindy McGinnis's books in the past, and so when I saw that she was coming out with a new book, I went immediately to see what it was gonna be about, and it did not disappoint. We're following Ashley, who has always felt more at home in the woods than in her own skin, and it's kind of starting off on a night where she is walking through the woods to go to a party out in the forest, and she catches her boyfriend cheating on her, and in a flying rage she goes running back out into the woods with no direction in mind and keeps running until she trips and falls into a ravine. Come morning, she wakes up alone, cold, without anything to survive, and with infection growing in her leg because it's been cut up. And somehow she has to make it back home when she doesn't know at all where home is and survive through the woods. It just sounds so good. I love survival stories. I feel like I never really talk about that on here, but survival stories are my niche in all reality. I just like the idea of preparing for the apocalypse, and I feel like if I read enough survival stories, I will have prepared for the apocalypse vicariously through these characters, you know? I know that that's not how it works, but let's just pretend it does. And I really, really enjoy Mindy McGinnis's writing, so I feel like she's gonna bring a nice added layer of drama. I mean, I already am into it. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about this one. And when I was looking at the releases for this year, trying to diversify my list a bit. I didn't want it to just be the books that were very obviously my style, like very fantasy. I did try to throw in some contemporaries and things like that. And this is technically a contemporary, survival story contemporary, you know? But I'm still excited. And next, coming out on March 10th, right? Yeah. I have my little list right here. But coming out on March 10th is gonna be Bonecryer's Moon by Catherine Purdy. And this book, I honestly was instantly intrigued mostly by the cover. I have been adoring this wave of people drawing covers, like just drawn cartoon style-ish covers. They're so beautiful and they're just really taking advantage of all the amazing artists in our community, and I'm really here for it. So when I saw Bonecryer's cover, I had to look up what it was about, and actually it seems quite interesting. So basically we have Bonecryers whose duty is to keep the dead from the living, and they gain this power to keep them away, to ferry them over to the world that they're supposed to go into by sacrificing their one true love. And this book starts off with our soon-to-be Bonecryer, Elise. I have it over there, just to, you know, Elise. And she is about to sacrifice her one true love. She's prepared for it, she knows what's going on, but when a boy interrupts her ritual because he has beef with Bonecryers, their fates get intertwined together and somehow they have to still perform the ritual once it's already been broken. I don't really know how it's gonna go, but I just think it's gonna be pretty good. I know that it's gonna be some kind of like relationship between those two because one isn't there, and then somehow she's gonna probably have to sacrifice him because, you know, then he'll be her one true love. Or maybe I'm just totally off base, but either way, I'm excited about the release. Next, we have another sequel on this list, and that's gonna be Aurora Burning, which is gonna be the second book in the Aurora Rising series that's being written by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I really loved Aurora Rising last year. Speaking of covers that have just amazing drawings on them, Aurora Rising really just took the cake last year. I feel like Aurora, wow, I can't say Aurora too many times in a row or else I just can't say it anymore, but you know, that one, it might have been the first one that I really noticed that was using drawings as the cover, and it's obviously by Charlie Bowater, who is an amazing artist, and I'm just here for the cover, also for Aurora Burning. So I'm not gonna go too far into it just because I have talked about Aurora. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore, actually. We're gonna have to move on to the next book because I can't say Aurora. Can you? Is this just an issue with me, or is that like a hard word to say? We're just gonna move on because I'm excited about it. It's a sci-fi, it takes place in space, it has this like misfit gang, so if any of those trigger words appeal to you, I would check it out. And that's going to be coming out on May 5th. So another one that's actually coming out on May 5th is one that you guys let me know about, and I'm really excited about this. It's called Lobisona, and it's being written by Romina Garber, and the reason that this was recommended to me was because Romina Garber, I'm having an issue with R's today, honestly, but the author is Argentinian, and I have said in the past that I haven't really read any books that are either written by someone Argentinian or take place in Argentina, and this is the book that a ton of you guys recommended to me, so I looked into it and it sounds amazing. And here, I'm just gonna read you the tagline because I really like what it says, but it says, "Some people are illegal. Lobisonas do not exist. Both of these statements are false." So we're following Manuela, who is an undocumented immigrant that's living in Florida, but she is on the run from her Argentine crime family. But when her grandmother is attacked and lies just spring to the surface, her mother is taken by ICE, and Manuela's world really turns upside down. She no longer has a home or a life that she can call her own, which leaves her free to finally explore her past and a secret that might have been hiding in it. And somehow this all has to do with werewolves, because lobisona means werewolf, but like girl werewolf. So I don't know where it's gonna go from there, but it just sounds so amazing. I mean, I love the idea of a crime family in general. I love that this is some Argentinian representation, and I adore the story. I know that it's going to take a very serious turn just because there is gonna be so much talk about immigration and what it means to be undocumented and what it means to have your whole life turned upside down because you don't have a paper saying that you were American. So yeah, that took a turn. So let's just move on to the next book, which is gonna be The Gilded Ones, and this is going to be released on May 26th and written by Namina Forna. Speaking of beautiful covers, I feel like all the rest of the books on this I was instantly intrigued mostly by the cover, but let's just get into it because The Gilded Ones, I don't know too much about it, but I know that it has to deal with blood in a certain way. We follow Decca as she's about to perform the blood ritual to truly be accepted into her clan, because to be accepted into her clan, her blood has to run red. And when it runs gold, she is an outcast. She is worse than an outcast. She is worse than dead to her clan, which makes her a perfect target to be picked up and recruited for the Emperor's personal army. Because little do these people know that gold blood actually means that you have some special powers to yourself. Other than that, I don't know too much. I just think it's gonna be really cool. I think it's gonna be some amazing representation for different kinds of cultures. Yeah, and I'm definitely here for it. I mean, gold blood just sounds cool in general, and it's giving me Red Queen vibes in that way, you know? Even though I haven't read Red Queen. Yeah, whatever. Wow, all the books that I'm kind of talking about come in threes because the last book and then the next two books are all books that I discovered mostly because of how beautiful the cover art was, and they're all just so amazingly diverse. Because the next book is going to be Forest of Souls, that is by Lori M. Lee, and it's going to be released on June 23rd. Honestly, didn't know a thing about this book. I saw the cover and I just knew I needed it in my library and in my life. And then I saw saw that it was perfect for fans of like Naomi Novik and Susan Dennard, and I am a fan of both of those, so I kept reading to find out that not only does it include training to be a spy, the Empress's personal spy, but then it goes into shamanism because shamans attack and her best friend is killed and our main character accidentally brings him back to life, revealing her to have a power that hasn't been seen ever, or at least not in recorded history. So not only are her plans to be a spy derailed, but she just ends up being like this badass person, this badass soul guide. I am just really, really excited about this book. I love spies. I feel like that's another thing that I never really talk about. I love the idea of spy world, spy culture, so love seeing that in a fantasy book. This book just really screams my name and I'm excited about it, and I feel like you guys should be too. And then being released on August 11th, we have Star Daughter by Shveta Thakrar. I'm having issues. By Shveta Thakrar. I probably am butchering it. It's probably pronounced a little bit differently than how I said it, but I'm still really, really excited. Again, this was another book that instantly caught my eye, mostly because of the cover, and then I read the summary and I was like, we're here for it. We follow Sheetal, who is the daughter of a star and a mortal, and when her father is injured, she can only heal him by going to a star, but her mother went back to the sky long, long ago, so she has to go on a quest to the celestial court and somehow gets roped into a competition where she has to act as her family's champion and hopefully win or risk never returning to Earth again. It just sounds, I love competition style games. I love, like, you know, like the Hunger Games? I'm here for it. And I love the idea that this is actually going to be in a celestial court. I'm here to see the stars, and I also love that she's doing all this just to get help for her father. I love it. It's like a mix of wholesome and danger, and I just can't wait to see what these games and competitions are, because I'm kind of hoping for like some very risky, life-threatening kind of situations, but also magic would be pretty cool, so I'm here for either. And the cover, again, so beautiful. So, so beautiful. So I'm so excited about this next book. I'm so excited about this next book by Jay Kristoff because I love Jay Kristoff, and it's Empire of the Vampire. Wow, yeah, hi, editing Brittany to realize that this comes out in fall 2021, not 2020, so disregard that part, but still listen to the summary, I guess. I know. And it's gonna be released September 3rd. I'm just really excited because I feel like vampires are making a comeback, and I am here for it because I loved vampires. That was probably one of my favorite reading phases of childhood, was my vampire reading phase. It's just so good. We love paranormal juiciness, and we love Jay Kristoff because he's definitely gonna do it right. But basically, we are in a world where it has been 24 years since the last sunrise. And before, you know, the sun disappeared, humans had been reigning as they do, and now that the sun's gone, the world has become a vampire world, and the humans are really, you know, dwindling down in numbers. Specifically, we're following Gabriel de Leon, who is the last of the Silver Saints, and kind of his story into the past and how it was when he found a legendary item from their religion. So I'm incredibly excited to see this mix of vampires and religion and see how Jay Kristoff does it, because obviously I'm thinking of Nevernight when I think about the amount of goriness that I'm hoping to be in it, but he really can do no wrong, so I'm sure it's gonna be absolutely amazing. And I just want to see the vampires. Like, I hope the vampires take precedence because I want them to come back. I know The Beautiful tried, but I just did not get enough vampire at all in that, so please make up for it, Jay Kristoff. No pressure at all. Like, I will read anything, whether this has a ton of vampires in it or not. And the last book that I'm going to be talking about officially is going to be released on October 6th, potentially, and is by V.E. Schwab, and it's going to be The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This actually sounds incredible. I'm so excited to see it. I know that I've been kind of following her journey of it because I follow her on Twitter and Instagram, and I feel like this process was a hard one for her, but I just know it's going to be so amazing. But basically, it's a love story between the devil and a French girl over 300 years, because Addie LaRue, I'm assuming that's her name because it doesn't actually say it in the description, she sells her soul to the devil so that she can stay young forever. But there is one caveat, because the devil just doesn't grant immortality. Even if you give him your soul, no one that ever sees Addie LaRue will remember her. The moment that she meets someone, once she's out of sight, they will have forgotten about her. And I believe that the premise of this story begins when a boy does not forget her. And I'm just so excited to see how V.E. Schwab does this. It just sounds very different, but also very her style. So I know it's gonna be so stunning, and I'm really excited to see how the whole love story between the devil and her go, because if the devil screwed me over that hard, I don't know if I'd ever want to fall in love with him. But maybe it is a hate to love, because that would not be bad. I love hate to love. And I'm just really, really excited to see how V.E. Schwab does it. I didn't even know that it was gonna actually be released this year. I thought it was like a soft release, but Goodreads officially says that it should be released in October. We'll all root for that. There isn't a cover for it yet, so it's okay. And then as for some shout outs, because I passed them as far as like they already got released when this video is coming out. All three of them came out on January 7th, and that's gonna be A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer, which is the second book in the Curse So Dark and Lonely series. The Night Country by Melissa Albert, which is the second book in the Hazelwood series. And Come Tumbling Down by Seanan McGuire, which is the next book in the Wayward Children's series. I'm really, really excited about that one. I have got to order it. I have not gotten it yet, but it's okay. And then one that I wanted to mention, but that will be released in December, is The Serpent's Curse by Lisa Maxwell. The reason that I didn't mention this just initially is because I haven't actually read the second book, which is The Devil's Thief, so I feel like not right saying that this is one of my most anticipated books. I didn't even know it was going to be coming out this year, to be quite fair, but now I know that I have all 12 months before December, 11 months. I have, well, now we're down to 10. Dang. So we're down to 10 months for me to read The Devil's Thief, and then I can be perfectly prepared for The Serpent's Curse. And the cover for this one looks absolutely amazing. It's probably my favorite cover for all of the books in the series, so can't wait to see how she does it. All right, so those are the 15 plus extras books that I'm most excited for to be released in 2020. I hope that you guys got some ideas from this list, and maybe I talked about a book that you didn't know was going to be coming out this year. And please let me know what your most anticipated release of the year is going to be. Yeah, is it really one of my videos if it doesn't stop recording? No. So I'm back. I had to charge my battery, but again, please leave down below what your most anticipated release of the year is going to be. I love learning. I really want to get better at keeping up with new releases and keeping up with what you guys are excited about. But I do feel like I have a pretty good list already, and do we really need to add more lists to the amount of books that I need to buy in one year? Probably not. That's going to be it for this video today, guys, though, and I hope you really, really enjoyed it. Look forward to some more of my start of the year videos that are popping up a little bit late, I know, but I am really excited, and I hope that you guys are too, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye!
We're beautiful creatures.